Chief Inspector Shapaka says crime has generally declined, particularly housebreaking and robberies, largely attributing this to the curfew regulation.
That tells you that with curfew in place, we have seen that a lot of people's movement is now restricted.
Yeah.
Now we find that almost everybody that we find after hours is suspicious, especially after 9. So now if we can regulate people's movement, that means only most of the criminals will be now known as to where they are, how they're going and stuff like that.
The police are, however, not entirely satisfied by the general behavior of some members of the public.
It leaves a lot to be desired, in all honesty. I can tell you last night alone, for instance, we have seen some 19 people arrested in Windhoek alone for violation of curfew. That is the regulations made under the Public and Environmental Health Act number 1 of 2015. So that is a big concern because especially us from the law enforcement, we do not want to see situations where people come in conflict with the law when they fight. It's actually not against law enforcement.
Yeah.
We are in this together, and it should be directed towards, flattening the curve of COVID-19 regulations. But if you go on the ground, especially from 9 o'clock where you expect people's movement to be minimal, that is actually when a lot of people are still moving around. That's when you still get people giving all sorts of excuses as to why they're not confined to their homes and stuff like that.
This once again re-emphasizes the need for personal responsibility and voluntary compliance. The public is being urged to continue assisting the police in rooting out crime. However, if you are a witness to a crime, here is what you should do not to endanger or expose yourself to the suspected criminals while alerting the police.
Take any sort of distinctive marks, anything that can actually lead the police to identifying these suspects, because it doesn't help that the matter is reported to the police, and eventually you cannot even identify the person.
Yeah.
It serves no purpose, but you would want to identify a criminal if they get into an runaway vehicle, just to get the number plate or even a description of the vehicle itself. How does it look like, the color, how many occupants were there, the registration plate as well.